Alisha, we are live.
All right, hi guys, this is Alicia. Yes, I'm a radio jockey, and for the first time, I'm actually doing this on Circle of Cricket, Google Hangout, and I hope you guys are doing great as well. Well, I've got a special guest on the show today, Mr. Lalchand Rajput. Of course, we all know who he is, but a small little introduction from my side. Of course, he's a former Indian cricketer, and he was assigned the task, as a manager of the Indian cricket team for a brief period, and of course, he's also been actively involved into cricket administration, over the past few years, including holding positions in the MCA, that's Mumbai Cricket Association. And of course, Mr. Rajput has had a distinguished career as an opening batsman for Bombay, and at times, he was also considered one of the best batsmen, best openers after Sunil Gavaskar. And well, of course, he was also the manager of the winning Indian cricket team for the 2020 World Championship 2007 held in Africa. Very, very good afternoon, Mr. Rajput.
Very good afternoon. I think just wanted to clear one thing. I was not the manager. I was the cricket coach of the Indian team.
Oh, sorry. My bad. My extremely bad. All right. Okay. So I have a lot of guests also who have joined me on the show. Cricket fans, of course. We've got Keshav. Hi, Keshav.
Hi, Alisha. How are you?
Very, very good. I have Parth with me as well. Hi, Parth.
Hi,
Okay,
Alisha.
hi. Okay, we have Puneet as well with us. Hi, Puneet.
Hi everyone.
Okay, and Sumit's there as well. Hi, Sumit. Okay, so yeah, okay. Mr. Lalchand Rajput, we have a lot of questions which we want to ask you. The topic is pretty interesting today. It's the future of new Team India, and that's what we're going to discuss today. And of course, we have a lot of questions which I have in my mind to ask you. Then, of course, our fans have too many questions on their mind. So we're going to start with the first one. Let's do this. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk about the cascading development, in the Indian cricket. I mean, lots of players are performing at peaks. There's lots of talent. I mean, many have shown their ability and given all-round performances. And whether we talk about like India A team or under 19, of our current Indian team, there's a lot of young talent. So what do you want to say about this?
I think India is very good because we got bench strength, and the bench strength comes from India A, and I think talent is abundance in the country. It's only thing proper nurturing of the talent, and I think the flow. I think thing can be done. I think in team region. Look at last couple of years, we have been ICC number one in Test ranking, ODI number one in Test ranking. So I think overall our cricketers are doing pretty well. I'm
Yeah.
sure this young team will definitely take our Indian team and be there for a longer period of time, because I want the team to be at number one for a longer period of time, and that's the key for any coach to keep that thing up.
These young talent, we all know that cricket, has become very fast, and youngsters are like, being very, very competitive in this game, and they're doing extraordinary performances, in short format of the game. So what would you say, regarding the difficulties they face when we talk about like temperament and patience level problems while they're performing, in the longer format?
See, over the years, I think the game has really changed, because earlier it was only Test cricket, then the one day came, and now the T20. Everyone wants to play the shorter format, and especially
Yeah.
the T20, because T20 you become a superstar for it, and in T20 if you get a quick 40, you're a superstar because you won the game. And in the shorter format, even the bowlers, if they bowl one good over and take 2 or 3 wickets and win the game, they are heroes. So I think there is stardom in T20, the shorter version. But if you want to really play cricket, I think the longer format is the best format, because any cricketer would love to play for the country and play Test cricket. Because that's the real test. Because in Test cricket, your temperament is tested, your skill levels are tested,
Yeah, true.
and everything apart from cricketing aspects are being tested. But in the shorter format, you can get away with it, because even if you're not technically sound, you can get away, because you might score runs. Doesn't matter how you score runs, because
Yeah.
bottom line is scoring runs. But in Test cricket, really, you've got to be technically sound. You've got to be patient. You've got to bat for longer hours. You've got to bat the whole day. So that's the real test. But nowadays, I think because of T20, everybody looking forward to play for the short format the game because it gives you stardom, it
Yeah.
gives you monetary benefit, and plus you become a superstar overnight.
That's true. I mean, a lot of our cricketers, we just don't see them like on the field. We see them off field as well on TV. They all are doing pretty good for themselves now. They are proper celebrities, of course. Okay, this is the first time that India has won a Test series under Virat Kohli's captaincy. And I want to talk about that. I mean, he has been a great batsman, fielder. He has been performing really well along with, leading the team from the front. Now, so do you think that, he's ready to lead Team India, not just in the Test cricket format, but also in one day, after Dhoni for a long run?
See, I always believe that Virat Kohli's aggression definitely gets the best out of the players. And if you look at Virat Kohli's performance over a period of time, I think he's the one player who can really match Sachin Tendulkar's number of centuries. And secondly, he gets a lot of energy level in the field as well, and that energy level definitely is the best of the other players as well. So I
Yeah.
feel that Virat has got a new dimension into the Indian. And if you look at this team, this is a young team which is following on Virat, and I'm sure this team will definitely take the Indian mantle for many years to come. Speaking about his captaincy in the Test series, he proved it's just the first stepping stone. He has just taken over the captaincy for the full series and they won it. And I'm sure he's on his side. He's a very, very aggressive player. He's a very aggressive captain, and his time will definitely come because Dhoni still plays the shorter format. Once Dhoni retires, I think there is place for Virat Kohli to take the mantle from Dhoni and do it for a number of years ahead.
All right, okay. Of course, I get paid to talk, so I love talking and I'm asking all the questions. But before all these people, get angry, I think it's time that we ask our fans also what kind of questions they have in their mind to ask you. So we'll start with Sumit, right? Sumit,
Yeah,
what's your question?
yeah. Hi, Rajput sir.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi. Rajput sir, my question would be, see, as we know, Virat Kohli and Dhoni are like two different leaders. So, don't you think like there will be any problem for the players who are playing both the formats?
Not really, because see, Dhoni has been there for a number of years, so Virat has been played under him, and there are a lot of players who have played under Dhoni, so they adjust it. See, at the international level, players have to adjust to different forms of the game. Just like you play Test cricket, One Day cricket, and T20, they have to do adjustment. Same thing under captaincy, so they have to do adjustment under Virat Kohli as well as under Dhoni. And Dhoni has been there for a number of years. I think it's 7 years he has been captaining India. So a lot of players know what is expected from Dhoni, and Dhoni expects what the player has to do. So it is both a win-win situation for the player as well as the captain. And I'm sure the players will adjust to both the captainship format because Dhoni is a very cool customer, plus Virat is a very aggressive. So there
Aggressive,
is
yeah.
a line that they have to adjust between to both the captains.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much, Sumit, for asking that wonderful question. All right, we've got Keshav also with us, and Keshav has a pretty interesting question. And since we were talking about Virat Kohli and MS Dhoni, you've got a question, Keshav, right?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my question to you, Rajput sir, is like you have seen Dhoni closely, in the T20 World Cup when he was made captain for the first time. So, recently, like he promoted himself to number 4 in ODIs in Bangladesh, and he indicated that it could be a long-term move. So, do you think that's a good move? Because over the past few years he has been such a good finisher, and we actually don't have a good replacement ready at that slot of number 6 or number 7. So does this mean we won't be seeing much of Dhoni after T20 World Cup? So he wants to bat more as his career comes to an end?
See, it's an individual choice because Dhoni has been there for at number 6 for a number of years, and he has done an outstanding job for the country because he's a very good finisher, and secondly, he reads the game well because players can bat around him, and he takes the players along with to win the games. But since he feels that see, now time has come that somebody else has to take up that finisher's job, so he is giving an opportunity for other players to bat at number 6 and do a finishing job. So like some players might really come up and raise their hand and say yes, I can do it. So it's a time for these players to grab that opportunity. But I still feel that Dhoni should bat at number 6 because he's a fantastic finisher. And opponents really see that when Dhoni is there, anything can happen till the last over. So that keeps something in the minds of the opponents that till Dhoni is there, the game is not yet finished.
So how long do you see Dhoni playing now? Like another couple of years maybe.
I think he has got a couple of years left in him because it's up to him to decide because he's still a fantastic batsman. His keeping is super, and above all his captaincy because the way he motivates the team, the way he gets the players to perform better, and above all he's a very cool customer, and players definitely perform better under him. So I still feel that there is a lot of cricket left to him.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Geisha, for your question. Okay, Mr. Rajput, I have a question. Actually, I read this very recently in one of the papers, that West Indian cricket legend, of course, Sir Viv Richards, he's in awe of Virat Kohli's attitude. And he also says that he's definitely the future of Indian cricket team. And he says that he would like to help, Virat Kohli, our Indian batsman, provided BCCI approached him, So what are your views on this?
See, as an aggressive player, coming from an aggressive player to an aggressive cricketer, I think it definitely says it all because Virat is a very aggressive player. Viv Richards, we all knew, was a destroyer of bowlers. So definitely he must be liking that as a batsman. Coming from a legend, Sir Viv Richards, I think it's a great thing for Indian cricket as well. And I am sure if the players can get benefit from Viv Richards, why not? So it's up to BCCI to look into that because he's voluntarily saying that he wants to help the Indian team. I think it will be a great thing.
All right. Okay, we have a lot more people, of course, with us on the Hangout. Parth, you're next. You've been waiting anxiously to ask your question, so go ahead. What's on your mind?
Hi Rajput sir, how are you?
Hi, Path. Go on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. So sir, generally in the evenings I usually go for a jog in a park and I see a lot of kids playing bizarre cricket. I say bizarre because they play with certain mandatory rules. Rules like they have to play some mandatory shots such as switch hits, drill scoop, reverse sweep, no matter what's the line and the length of the ball is, but they have to play these shots. So this worries me. Will too much of T20 cricket kill the class of cover drive or the straight drive? Test cricket will sustain in this era, do you think, sir? In the era of T20?
According to me, definitely Test cricket will sustain because there's no doubt about it. But what will happen is that there will be, different players for different formats. Say like for T20, there will be specialists for T20, there will be specialists for Test cricket as well. So I don't think there will be any issues with Test cricket, dying out. But definitely there will be players who will be only interested in playing T20. You see, like players who are trying to do switch hit, who are trying to do reverse sweep, because these are the players that want to make a name and be specialists in that format. And this format really demand, they have to be very innovative shots. And some certain players are doing that. And once they succeed, I think they definitely play in the IPL and then coming on to play for their own country. So these are the shots which really need lot of practice, lot of practice to do master it. And if you look at when Dilshan has started Dil scoop shot because hardly few players used to play, but now every batsman in T20 plays Dil scoop shot. So and the same thing like switching shot. So there will be different shots coming up. There will be innovative shots coming up. But I think Test cricket will be there, but there will be people only specialized for T20 as well.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Parth. That was a pretty cool question. I mean, I also see a lot of kids in the parks, playing cricket, and of course, these are questions, which you want to think about. Okay, Mr. Rajput, I have a question now. It's my turn. Okay, and we also have other people. We have Puneet on the line. Puneet, we'll come back to you. Okay, but what my question is that what's the biggest primary difference that you feel there is between coaching today and the time you played for Mumbai and India?
To be very honest, coaching has taken a big step. Let's be very honest that earlier days the coaching was only from the former players. They used to just talk to us and tell us that you got to do this thing, and they just tell us to do in the nets. But now coaching has become very, very structured because there is video analysis. You can really play in a slow motion. You can see yourself how you're batting. You can see yourself bat coming from which angle. So it is really a structured thing, and you can really change and improve upon. Because after 10 days, how your bat comes, as a batsman, it's a boon. Even bowlers, ki, how my hand is coming, whether it's coming from outside, whether it's coming straight. Same like for batsmen, whether my bat is closing down or whether I'm playing the root of the bat. So I think technology has taken to the next level, and that has really helped. It has its own advantage, has got a disadvantage. The disadvantage that the opponents definitely can come to know your faults. If you
Yeah.
played in one series, then they know that he's very strong here, so we don't have to bowl there, and then they will start finding the faults at. And the best thing is that as a batsman, you always keep on improving it because you know that the opponents are going to try and get at your weak side. So you got to improve upon weakness as well. So overall, I think the cricket has taken to the next level, and players are really prepared that yes, if I see myself and I can rectify mistakes very quickly rather than somebody telling you and then you doing it. Because most of the times I have found that especially first class test cricket, if you tell them that your bat is not coming straight, they'll say, sir, I have scored so many runs with the same bat, so what is the
Yeah.
difference? If you show them their video and see, oh, they say, oh, I'm batting so badly, and they start thinking. So that's why I think video has definitely helped a lot, and we always keep on saying seeing is believing, and they see themselves and believe, yes, and then they improve better.
Wow, that's a great answer. All right, since we're talking about coaching, we've got Puneet also. He's got a question for you about foreign coaches. Go ahead, Puneet.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Puneet.
Sir, my question is the these days the concept of foreign coaches is looking overrated. And do you think Indian coaches should continue as we should continue with the homegrown coaches, or we should continue with foreign coaches?
I still feel that we should always groom our own coaches because let's be very honest. How many Indian coaches are coaching in, say, in Australia,
True.
Sheffield Shield, or in South Africa, or in England? So I think we got to promote our own coaches. Unless you give them an opportunity, how you will come to know? See, when we won the T20 World Cup, there were no foreign coaches. We are all Indian because I was there, Venkatesh Prasad, Robin Singh. So we see now also we have got all Indian coaches as well. So I still feel that we have to promote our own coaches for the Indian team.
All right, you also had another question, right,
Yeah,
Puneet?
yeah, sir. I have one more question. As
Yes.
you know the national team selection process more than anybody of us. So I want to know, these days, as Parth mentioned, that IPL, sorry, T20 is too much. IPL, sorry, T20 has covered cricket too much, and everybody wants to play T20. So do you think IPL is slowly taking over Ranji Trophy as selection process for the national team?
Not really. I don't believe in that. Yes, to a certain extent, only for the shorter format. See, if your team is selected for T20 or one day, then they take the performance of IPL. But all the selectors take the performance of domestic cricket because the players who have performed well in domestic cricket, they are only promoted. If you look at the India A team, a lot of players who have done well in the domestic cricket are in the A team. And from A team, if they perform well, then into the national team. So there is a process. But yes, T20 is more lucrative, more flamboyant, and more startup like. So people get to know, every household get to know who is playing in IPL. But some players, those who play in Ranji Trophy, they will not be knowing. That's the only difference. But to play for the country, I think Ranji Trophy and first class cricket is very important.
All right. Okay, Puneet, that was a great question. Okay, Sumit has more questions for you. Sumit, what is it? Sumit, you need
Yeah,
to,
yeah. Rajput sir, my
Yeah,
question would
Sumit.
be like regarding coaching techniques. Like we have seen coaches like Greg Chappell, we have seen coaches like John Wright, Gary Kristen. You have also done. You have yourself has been a coach of Indian cricket team. So I would ask you that which coaching technique would be more effective, like old school or new school, like which would be more effective for our Indian team?
See, there is no old school or new school of thoughts. Coaching, see, a cover drive will be a cover drive, whether you play in England, Australia, or South Africa, it will be the same. It's only the mindset, because you got to, change with time, because now that more aggression and, more power has come into, cricket, because earlier days we used to really time the ball, but now you have to have power, because if you want to succeed at the highest level, you got to play more shots. And because the bats have been very, I would say, better than what it was earlier. Earlier, your bats would be very thin, but now the bats is very thick, because even if you miss time, it goes for a six. So you should have good pair of hand. That's why nowadays, earlier we used to say you used to have a good footwork, but now with footwork, you got to have the handwork as well, because hand means you got to have power. So the old school of thoughts used to be, playing along the ground, but new school of thought that you got to play with power, and the cricket demands now, because if you look at the test cricket, there are very few matches which are, being, say, drawn. It's all result oriented. Why? Because players are playing very positive cricket, and that positiveness has really got into every player's head, that they got to play positive. Yes, positive means not just slogging. We got to score runs at a faster rate, and with that they give more opportunity for the bowlers to take 20 wickets. So I think if you look at the test matches, they are all result oriented. So I think you got to change with time as well.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that question, Sumit. Okay, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Rajput, I have another question. I mean, I'm sure you must be happy, or I just actually want to ask you, are you actually happy with the state of first-class cricket in India? And, what kind of improvements do you think there should be to make our infrastructure as good as Australia or England's?
I think now, if you look at our infrastructure, is even better than other countries, because we have got brilliant grounds. If you look at earlier, there were only few grounds, but every state association has 2 to 3 grounds at their disposal. If you
Mm.
look at the ground condition, we have got very good, outfield pitches, and with the new Ranji Trophy format, we have got, elite play group, and and we have playing the best teams, the elite group. So when you compete with the best team, the best players only come out. So I
Yeah.
think our Ranji Trophy format is very good. Only thing is, I could suggest here is that, we should, the Ranji Trophy season starts from October and ends in, February, March.
Yeah.
The only period is very, I would say, uh, not so good for cricket, is that from December 15 to January 15, that too in north, because that time the winter is there, and because of winter, most of the matches are not played for full 4 days.
Yeah.
So my request would be that, don't play matches in north in this time. You can, shift it to the other centers, and after January 15 we can have matches there, so that the Ranji Trophy, players play the full 4 days, because they don't have to sit out for one day when it is cold, when it's raining, and the match is, called off. Even the lights become, go off so early, because in not in the evening, it goes off by 3 or 4 o'clock, so the
Yeah.
match doesn't play a full 90 over. So a lot of things happen in those, in that period. So that thing, if they can take, consider it, I'm sure Ranji Trophy will be a very good this for the players who play in the elite group.
All right. I say, just wanted to add something. I mean, I stay in Delhi myself. The weather is pretty cool in winters. I mean, यहाँ की ठंड भी बर्दाश्त नहीं होती, यहाँ की गर्मी भी बर्दाश्त नहीं
Yeah.
होती है. So I'm sure it's the same. When the players are on the field, it's worse, for them. Okay, we've got Parth up next. Parth, your turn again. Tell me
Yeah.
what's in your mind.
Sir, keeping five bowlers theory in mind, in the first Test match against South Africa, who do you think deserve more to be the part of playing 11? The rock solid Pujara or the eternally talented Rohit Sharma?
I think it's a good situation we are in, because we have got competition for every place. Because even for the openers, number 3 slot, and even the number 6 slot. So I think it's a very healthy, thing for Indian team to choose from. But I still feel that, we have got 2 solid openers, 3 solid openers. So they got, Dhawan, Murali Vijay, and KL Rahul. So one has to sit out. And now with Pujara getting a brilliant 100 man of the match in the last Test match, when the wicket was difficult to play, he got a brilliant 145. I personally feel that, he should be batting at number 3, and then 4 Kohli and 5 Ajinkya Rahane. I think this will be the setup for the first Test series, and unfortunately, Rohit Sharma will lose out if we have 5 bowler theory.
But sir, just to add a little, but sir, in India, do you think five bowlers theory will work and Stuart Binney should play deserve a chance to be a part of playing 11?
Again, it's a team management call because if they go for five bowlers, but in India we can always have four bowlers because we got to make to suit to our conditions, and I'm sure every country prepares pitch to suit to their condition. The same thing, we got to suit our condition. So I think if we have that thing in mind, the four bowler theory can work, and then we can have one more batsman. So Rohit Sharma can be added onto the batting so that we have six batsmen plus a wicket keeper and four bowlers.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Parth, for that wonderful question. Okay, I have a question actually, and then we're going to come to Puneet. And my question is like talking about Cheteshwar Pujara. I mean, do you think we can rely on him more? I mean, as you know, he has shown a lot of temperament and a class in batting, and of course, I mean, he's led the batting lineup from the front, and of course, performed really well in the last Test match as well between India and Sri Lanka. And he's also filled the vacant number 3 position. And we all can see that he has been more successful at number 3. So what do you have to think? What do you say about it? Should he stick to number 3 position?
Definitely, because Cheteshwar Pujara is one player who definitely filled that the spot of Rahul Dravid. When he came in, he had a very, very successful series against South Africa and England, and I think one of the rock solid players, and he's basically suited for the long format of the game. He plays, session wise, he will bat whole day, and the best part is he values his wicket. He doesn't throw his wicket away. So I think that's the best quality of a batsman, and that's how Rahul Dravid was. Rahul Dravid was called as the wall of Indian cricket.
Yeah.
I think that wall can be filled by Cheteshwar Pujara.
All right, okay. Well, we have more people with us, so we're gonna get back. So who wants to ask a question next? Let's do this.
Yeah,
Puneet?
can I ask?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Sir, actually, the earlier part of our show, we discussed about the style of PK's captaincy. Actually, do you think Virat Kohli's aggression will help to boost confidence in team players, or he should take a lesson out of MSD's book, or he should he should calm a little bit?
See, as you said, that there are ways. Like MS Dhoni is a very cool customer, he really backs the player and he's behind them all the time to get the best out of them. And on the other hand, Virat Kohli is a very aggressive. See, you have to have some aggression, but your aggression should be controlled aggression. It cannot be overboard because we saw that Ishan Sharma just lost on and then he had to be banned for one game. So aggression has to be there, but it has to be controlled aggression because you can't be just being quiet and get a match. There has to be a mixture of aggression and Dhoni, both I would say, and Dhoni mixes this very very well, I think, and that's why we did very well in the last couple of years, and I'm sure this will be carried forward when Virat Kohli's era comes in. Virat Kohli just started it. He has to be very careful. He is a very aggressive captain, but he has to be careful because he doesn't go overboard.
All right, thank you, Puneet, for that question. We also have Keshav. Hello, Keshav. बड़े देर से आपकी शक्ल नहीं नजर आई. Okay, so Keshav, what are you gonna ask? What's your question?
Good to see people missing me. So
Yes.
my question is, sir, abhi recently, BCCI announced the 30 players in the preliminary camp for the South African series. The camp would be there in Bangalore. So in that 30 players list, they have again named Harbhajan Singh in that squad. But जब से उन्होंने comeback किया है अभी, we saw in the Bangladesh match and Zimbabwe tour and now in the Sri Lankan tour. So he hasn't really performed up to those expectations. I mean, if you compare him with another off spinner and Ashwin who has performed exceedingly well, Harbhajan को जो chances मिले, he hasn't really availed them to his best. So do you think he should be selected in the South African series, or someone younger should be preferred now, thinking that Harbhajan's time is over, his last chance has been over?
See, you cannot say that Harbhajan's time is over because anybody can come back because it's a funny game. Because you have a good series, then you're back into the Indian team. and Harbhajan is there for the last couple of series, but he has not uh, done what people expect of him. But I'll tell you one thing: Harbhajan's presence has made Ashwin to work harder, and he has really bowled well. Because he knows that there is another off spinner sitting. If I don't do well, Harbhajan will get a chance. So I think this competition has to be there to get the best out of the players. And to be in the 30, I think they have still kept in mind that he would be good for the T20 World Cup as well. So we got to wait and see. But still, I think Ashwin is the best bowler we have at the moment, and the same like Amit Mishra, he did exceptionally well in Sri Lanka. So there are spinners who are doing, but we should have a pool of spinners so that if somebody is injured, then you don't have to look for a new one, but you have already got guests who can really replace if something goes wrong or injury or something goes wrong with Ashwin.
All right, thank you, Keshav, for that question. Okay, I want to ask you something. Do you think are we lacking spinners in comparison from the past generation, Mr. Rajput?
Not really, because if you look at the spinners we have, yes, the past generation spinners were different type of spinners, but now T20 and one day very prominent. We got different because most of the bowlers don't fight the ball much. But Ashwin is one who really flies. Harbhajan is one who really. Amit Mishra is there. And we have got Karan Sharma also, who is a leg
Yeah.
spinner. And then we have got pool of spinners to choose from. So I'm sure the selectors will keep in mind that these are the spinners who they are looking at, and so that they keep in that pool, so that
Okay.
they are the Indian team, and if someone is unfit or injured, then they have a ready player to play for.
All right, okay. Puneet has a question. Puneet,
Yeah.
go ahead. Puneet has a lot of
Sir,
questions.
yeah, sir. Actually, I'm a big fan of Yuvraj Singh, and I'm dying to see him playing on cricket. So, do you think he has any chance of coming back in any format?
See, as I said, every cricketer, unless he is retired, he is always expecting that he will make a comeback into the Indian team. And so do I think Yuvraj must be expecting that, that is T20, now. He must be hoping that he might come back. And it just needs one good series, because for every player or a batsman, if he performs well and he's straight away get into the team. So I think this season will be very crucial for Yuvraj. If he gets going and he performs well, I don't see any reason why he can't make it in the T20 World Cup team.
Okay. Okay, Sumit, you had something on your mind, right? Sumit, are you there? Okay, well, Sumit is getting. Sumit, are you there? Okay, I'll ask a question.
Yeah.
Sumit is clueless right now. Okay, sir, what are your views on the green pitches, being used in the domestic cricket? I mean, is it a good thing, or are they effectively making some ordinary seamers look much better?
Uh, See, you can look at both angles, but I still feel it's a good thing, because a lot of matches are result oriented. It's not like earlier days that even some matches are getting drawn for 4 days. There is no result. But
Yeah.
with the green pitches, results are there. Yes, some ordinary bowlers look great, but that's the way it is, because once they get to the next level, then they come to know where they are. But we don't have to go deep into that. But at least we can make out who are good bowlers and who are not. And once they play on a good wicket, we can always make out that whether he has got the art of taking wickets or not. But I always feel that green wickets should be also for the under 19 ball, because that is where you get the best players, and these are the players or your future players. So why don't we, train them in difficult conditions? As a batsman, they know how to play on a green wicket. As a bowler, they know how to bowl on those green wickets. So I think it's good that we play on good green top wickets for junior cricket as well as senior cricket.
All right, thank you for that answer. Okay, Keshav has a question on his mind. Keshav, go ahead.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting question, and I wanna know your take on this, Rajput sir.
Yeah.
Like earlier in this year, BCCI and PCB signed a common kind of NOC that there will be some series in the coming years. Some bilateral series were signed, and they were supposed to play in December, January this year, 2016, 2015-16. So now suddenly, because of the political tensions, the series seems to be not going ahead. So what are your views? Because some people have this thought that cricket should not be affected due to politics, and some people have this thought that every kind of tie should be over. So what do you think on this?
See, it's a very tricky question because it is the question the BCCI should answer that, because as you said that yes, politics and cricket are doesn't go hand in hand, but the safety of the players is very important. The players also have to see that they are safe when they tour Pakistan. So that thing I think has gone against Pakistan, that no team wants to tour there. And looking at the fixtures, the two boards have to decide that whether they can play in a neutral venue. So it's up to the board and the government to give permission whether they can play at neutral venue. So I leave it to the board, BCCI. I think it's the best thing that they know better whether we should have bilateral series or not.
Even if they don't play at a neutral venue, there was a option of playing in India only, like they toured back in 2012. But one of the things that comes to mind is during IPL and other international matches, Pakistani umpires, Pakistani commentators, they all are there. Nobody objects that. But when a team comes, everybody has a problem all of a sudden. So that's something people do not understand. Why does this happen?
I think it's a board policy because I don't know, what policy they have. So even I have no clue on that. So I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, Keshav, thank you for that question. Puneet, you're next. Your turn.
Sir, actually, since Australian tour, we have seen our test team batting order has been, like a musical chair. Somebody's playing at number 3, then it's been on number 5, then it's number 6, then number 4. We haven't settled our batting order. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it was a musical chair, to start with. But now I think they are trying out options, and now I think they know that they can have a settled option. Openers are fixed, because there are 3 openers, so 2 will play. But number 3, I think still Pujara should be at number 3. So now I feel that he's settled at number 3. 4 Virat Kohli, and 5 obviously Ajinkya Rahane. So I think this is the 5 slots which will be there for years to come now, because this is the one which they were number 3 and number 5. Ajinkya was at 5, then he used to move on 3, then 5. But now I'm sure it will be a settled thing. We will have a settled batting order in the South African series.
Yeah, sir, and adding to that, which is your favorite wicket keeper, Naman Oja or the other one, I forgot the name.
I think
Saha.
Ridhiman Saha is one of the best keepers at the moment, and he has shown that grit while batting as well. And keeping wise, I think he's the best keeper. So I don't see any reason why Saha should be uh, given out, or should not play in the Indian team. But Naman Oja, yes, he is a better batsman, can bat well. But as I said that when Dhoni was there, I could not get a break. It's the same thing like when Sai is there, Naman will have to sit out. So he has to wait for his chances. But to me, I think Sai is the best keeper at the moment and number 1 keeper for India.
All right, okay. Finally, Sumit has a question on his mind. Go ahead, Sumit. What's your question that you want to ask?
Yeah, Rajput sir, see, Dhoni would be coming back after a long time, right, in a team. So don't you think like it would affect his performance, like his performance?
See, for a player of Dhoni's caliber, yes, he'll be coming after a long layoff. But I still feel that these are the players who really adjust very quickly. He just need one good inning or one good, knock in the nets or in the match. I'm sure he might be in the game this year, so he must have got some practice, and he might have some practice matches as well. So once you get into that mode, then you're back into the test team, or back into your, international career. So I don't think that should be a problem for Dhoni once he comes back after a long layoff.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Sumit, for that wonderful question. I want to ask something, Mr. Rajput. So,
Okay.
what should be India's strategy, for the T20 World Cup? I know we're talking long ahead, but
I think it's still the 7 8 months back ahead now. But still, T20. I don't think we have a fixed strategy because T20 is such a fast game. You
yeah,
got to have your strategy there, and you have to take quick decisions. But since it's in India, I'm sure we will plan out when it comes near. But at the moment, I think you got to be very positive. You got to go with a positive frame of mind that yes, we have already done it in 2007. So why can't we do it now? And back our players, and all players should think that yes, we got to do it again since we have already done it before. And this young team has got a lot of potential. This young team has a lot of IPL matches. They know the nuances of the
yeah.
T20 format, and I'm sure definitely we will do well in this T20.
All right, Keshav, you're next.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, sir, this is a big home series coming up. A
Yeah,
big home season. Three T20s, five one days, four tests, and we have seen South Africa. That is the only team who travels really well, who plays well abroad. In recent times, we have seen no other team is that good while traveling abroad. But recently they have lost a series to Bangladesh. Just how we lost it. So. And they have rested some players as well for one day and T20 series. So the whole 72-day tour, how do you see that South African challenge? Do you think Indian team is capable enough to beat the number one ranked team in the world?
See, South Africa is a very competitive team. Yes, they were the number one team, but I see that our team is too good to be beaten at home, because we have just beaten Sri Lanka now, that too first in 22 years in away series. So that confidence level has definitely been there. So we can go with that confidence level in the home series. The last time also South Africa, when they came to India, we have beaten them, and they have got some players, great bowlers, great batsmen. But we have beaten them in our own home yard. So I'm sure that that thing will continue. We will beat them. Only thing is that yes, in T20 or one day they have a chance, but in Test cricket definitely India will be an upper hand.
I think a little differently here because Sri Lanka, if you compare both Sri Lanka and South Africa, Sri Lanka is a team in transition. They're very inexperienced players, but South Africa on the other hand, De Villiers, Samla, Duplessis, and last couple of times they came here, we were just able to draw those couple of series. So I guess in T20 and ODI we have more chances than the Test matches because South Africa has won the series in Sri Lanka as well last year. So I just think a Test would be even a more difficult challenge.
According to me, yes, that's your view, but to me, I think Test will be. If you make the turning wickets, it will be difficult because they don't have much spinners. It's only Imran Tahir, and apart from Amla and De Villiers, I don't think they play spinners well as well. So if you have to spinner-friendly wicket, I don't think South Africa got any chance of winning the Test series.
Well, I hope आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर because everyone thought like this when England toured in 2012 and we lost 2-1 to them. So fingers crossed. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Puneet has a question. Puneet, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So actually, again on the selection process, if we compare our selection process with Australia or other foreign teams, do you think we promote, or I should say, we push young talent a little too early to national team as compared to other foreign teams as Australia or South Africa?
I don't think so because if our selectors would not have that vision, then Sachin Tendulkar would not have played at the age of 15 or 16. So we have really backed up and we have backed the right players. And if you look at the players who have been pushed early, are still, they have played long enough. So it's just question of picking the right player and giving that push to the right player, irrespective of the age. And if he's good enough at that age, we should back him. And I think India has done that. And looking at India, other teams have also started. And even Pakistani, they pushed some young guys in the national team. So it has become a trend now.
Okay, and sir, have you seen any young talent, like Sachin or Ganguly, or perhaps have you come to any?
there are a lot of young talents coming up, but still they have to prove their mantle. But you never know that, as I said, for a batsman, two, three good knocks, big scores can really get into the limelight. So it's all question of they getting big score. Now the Ranji Trophy will start, so I'm sure some young talents will definitely come up.
All right, thank you, Puneet, for that question. We're going to quickly wrap this up, but before that, Sumit has a question, Mr. Rajput. So I think we will answer, and then I have one question which I really want to ask, but before that, Sumit, it's your turn.
Yeah, Rajput sir, my question is like we have seen a lot of aggression in Indian team recently. So do you feel aggression is the only attribute helping young players to perform well?
Not really, aggression cannot be the only attribute, Yes, you should have aggression, that's sure, because aggression with, I would say, controlled aggression, that will bring the best out of you, because aggression sometimes, you miss out on what you're saying. For a bowler, if you're very aggressive, sometimes you miss out your line I have to bowl. In that frame of mind, key, you have to be aggressive and bowl fast, but then your line and length, waver. So that's not the only attribute to get best performance, but aggression should be there, but you cannot cross that aggression line because you got to be within that line.
All right. So finally, it's my turn, and then of course we're gonna wrap this up. I have a pretty interesting question. I mean, the entire country, the entire world loves Sachin Tendulkar, right? So my question to you actually is that who do you think can be the next Sachin Tendulkar? Is it ever gonna happen? Do you think you have someone in mind?
Because Sachin Tendulkar is born only once and you will have
Yeah,
only one
that's true.
Tendulkar, yeah. Because we cannot have next Sachin Tendulkar, it's, and we should never think of also, because there will be different players like Gavaskar, there cannot be one more Gavaskar. Kapil Dev, there cannot be one more Kapil.
Yeah,
These are I think God's gifts there, because they
true.
have come here only to dominate cricket, and that's what they have done. And I'm sure there will be someone else, coming up, but not Tendulkar, because I don't think anybody can match Tendulkar's class. So
That
let's
is
keep
so
it to
true.
Tendulkar.
That's so
One
true. I mean,
Tendulkar.
the entire nation, the entire world loves Sachin Tendulkar. I'm a big fan. Okay, there's so many people who are like watching you right now, and of course, there are young kids out there who aspire to be cricketers one day. Who are just in school, maybe colleges, taking coaching, and you've been a coach yourself. So, is there something that you would want to say to them before we end this
Yeah, I think,
conversation?
yeah, every kid, he has to enjoy playing cricket, and enjoy means, at that age, they should love with passion to play that game. And
Yeah,
if you play with passion and love, you can definitely, improve. And I'm sure coaching is one aspect. At a younger age, they should be, free to enjoy their batting, not too much technical thing, and above all, cricket is such a funny game that, you learn a lot of interesting things, and as you go on playing it, you learn a lot of things. So play this game with passion, enjoy it, and bottom line, you will get rewarded.
and is there how young should someone start?
There is no age as bar, but
Yeah.
I think 9 to 10 years, you can start with that thing, and slowly then you can, go on. But even 5 to 6 year old kids, they start playing bad. They hit the ball as hard as anyone, So that shows that he has got passion for batting, or he has
True.
got passion for that game. But definitely you can make out only after 11 or 12 years that whether he is going to take up batting or bowling. But there is no age limit. But I'm sure every young guy who is aspiring to be a cricketer, please start going to any coaching clinic and make sure that you get the right basics, because
True.
once you have the basics right, you can play any format of the game. Don't just limit to yourself to play, IPL. Limit yourself to play for the country. And if you aim to play for the country, you will definitely play one day, and I'm sure nobody will stop you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajput. That was a great answer by you, and I'm sure young kids who are watching this would definitely get inspired by what you just said. And of course, the topic of today was future of new team India, and of course, future of this country. In terms of cricket. So thank you so much for joining us. And now we would wrap up, this entire hangout. But thank you so much, Keshav, Puneet, Sumit, for your lovely questions. They were just great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, my pleasure.
All right, take care. Well, this was the Friday.